Chase, Nye, touchdown. The linebacker picked it up. That was not a forward pass. First down and 10 football.
Inside handoff. Oh, on the bootleg. Grease, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Williamsport, great keep.
First quarter, on their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0.
Play action. Coleman good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch! 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown, 67 yards.
Pass, steps up, wants it all, throws, got Brock Boyer down the field. Nice, did he catch it? Touchdown, Brock Boyer. Good coverage, Dallas Grease. Kavanaugh back to pass, looking deep out. Watkins has it at the 20, 15, 10,
gonna
5.
score a touchdown.
He's going to score a touchdown. Touchdown,
with 6.2
touchdown,
seconds
Reese
left.
Watkins. Reese Watkins scores with 6 seconds to go from 30 yards out. Chase Kavanaugh to Reese Watkins again. That's the second time. 6 seconds to go, and he is in for the score.
And welcome back. Playoff football time. This is Touchdowns and Tailgates from Rival Sports Bar and Grill here on River Avenue. I'm Gary Crispin along with Jim Webb, WebWeeklyLive.com. And we're getting ready, Jim. It's the postseason. Everybody's fired up. It's going to be fun. And it's all powered by Fairfield for fantastic deals. All right, we've got some big ball games coming up. Our game, Cable Sports, and Ken Sawyer will join me. Babe Mayer is going to be. Babe is on vacation. I have no idea where he's going. Babe Mayer will be out. Ken will be in with me. It's like the old days. Sock, Montoursville. That'll be the game we're doing at WebWeeklyLive.com. Facebook, and of course our own CableSportsLive.com on Friday night. We've got a big game that Webb Weekly will be doing on Saturday. Tell me about that.
Saturday up at Williamsport High School, STA Stadium. Muncy gets to host the playoff game, which is fantastic, and Millersburg comes in. So we're going to have it. Paul Bowe and Rich Zalonis going to do the game 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Of course, we got to tape delay it because the PIAA wants those big fees.
Well, as you know, it's the same with us, and you're right. They're asking a lot of money. Our game will be replayed Saturday morning at 10. Your game Sunday morning at 10. You'll be able to watch that ball game. And, of course, we can't forget about Tom Gravish's Jersey Shore Bulldogs. Boy, they played well the other night.
Fantastic.
Selinsgrove played them tough, but they won it 33-14.
And it's not your dad or your grandfather's Jersey Shore Bulldogs. They throw the ball around. And Coach Gravish has them playing. Coach Jackson on defense. They're going to be a tough takeout for any team that plays them.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And Bishop
Larson,
Shanahan's a quality opponent, so that'll be a good game.
Tanner Larson's put up big-time numbers. He's thrown right now something like 27 touchdown passes, 2,500 yards. He's rushed the other night for 136. So he's got right now 4 receivers, 30-plus catches apiece.
That used to be a decade in Jersey Shore Bulldog football. It's just unbelievable. And the up-tempo offense they run, they just keep teams on their heels.
And talking to some of the coaches here tonight at Rivals, they feel Jersey Shore's got a pretty good setup in the East. They could make a heck of a run. Don't count that team out. Coming up here tonight, we're going to talk to some coaches. Sean Tatro is here. What a job they've done at Muncy.
And Muncy, I don't want to Coach Tatro to hear me. They'll be looking for their first state tournament win in school history, which is a pretty neat thing. Back-to-back district titles. Good to have them here. And we have some other coaches. We got the Battle of the Bridge coaches.
Well, you had a feeling it would be Sock and Montoursville again, and it will be. That'll be our game coming up on Friday night in Montoursville. The 11-1 Warriors, 9-3 Lancers. Last time, of course, Warriors won at 41-6. I think Loyalsock, way better team than they played that night. But this is a Warrior team on a mission, the team that got to the PIAA a year ago. Going to be fun to see how they match up. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to the coaches. We come right back. WebWeeklyLive.com. This is Touchdowns and Tailgates. Gary Crispin with Jim Webb. We will talk to the coaches. We come right back.
The Kaiser Boys and Dan Goldman are at it again at both Fairfield locations in Muncy and Danville. For every new coat you bring in for kids ages infant to 15, you'll receive an additional $500 off your in-stock vehicle purchase. Plus, during the Black Friday sales event, you can receive employee pricing on select 2019. Save over $11,000 on select 2019 Ram 1500s or save over $7,000 off select 2019 Cherokees. Stop in today. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You're gonna love us.
It is the playoff edition, touchdowns and tailgates. Gary Chrisman back here. Jim Webb, Justin Van Fleet, Loyalsock Lancers playoff time here at Rivals, brought to you by Fairfield Auto Group. Fairfield for fantastic deals. Sock finishing strong. You're 9-3 coming in. Here we go. We had a feeling it would be the Warriors and Lancers again, and I know you want another shot at this team, a team that beat you 41-6 early in the year, because certainly you feel and I feel you guys are way better than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, throughout the weeks it's been a consistent feature to say don't look forward, but the reality is it turned into a bit of the M word. Don't talk about it. Let's continue to take care of our business. But really, after the Selinsgrove game, the team really came together, found some movement together, some understanding of what we needed to do, and from there, this was always that elephant in the room. So now we can take our focus where it's been partially, admittedly throughout the season, and now square it in. It's not as though we haven't been preparing, and it's not as though they haven't. If you're coaching in Loyalsock or Montoursville, we're in what is this, 13? So we both have 12 films. It's the same thing everywhere, plus a scrimmage, where we have evidence of one another and been taking some time. So I'm excited to get another chance against them. Our team's been really wanting it, and in the end, it's about how we're going to perform.
Is it true you and JC actually watch game film together and you set up a checkerboard chessboard and make the moves, or no truth to that?
No, we spend enough time crossing paths and talking that people can suspect things, and oftentimes they're a little disappointed in the rivalry that we're sitting next to each other here. That individuals I'm sure would rather us stare at each other and make accusations, but
Gary, you
no,
might not
it's not
know,
that close.
But JC has kids at Loyalsock and is involved in the Loyalsock wrestling program.
Yeah, that's right.
Loyalsock Little League.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to a lot of people, these two guys are pretty close friends, as is a lot of Loyalsock and Montoursville people. So the Battle of the Bridge has taken on a whole new dimension now. So
yeah,
gotta be
definitely
interesting.
And the kids, the rivalry, when it was rejuvenated years ago, there was an awful lot of connectivity, and there still is some connectivity, but it's definitely a true rivalry. They want to go after it against one another, and they like to hang out and whatnot, but once you get on the field, they want to go after it.
I don't think there's any doubt. Chase Kavanaugh, young junior, has had a heck of a year again. He's been your leader, throwing the football, able to run, he's mobile, and Davion Hill coming into his own. Aiden Gare is back after some injury, and certainly Aiden Gare has performed well on both sides of the ball. Let's talk about some of the keys for you that got this team where you wanted to be, 9-3 at this stage, playing for a district title.
Well, first and foremost, it's up front on both sides of the ball. Really tighten up a lot of what we were doing, and the first time we played against this team, that was really a crucial moment for us to make a lot of decisions. And we did. It wasn't necessarily personnel. It's not fully scheme. Some of it's attitude, some of it's scheme, but in the end, we've been preparing up front. And that's a big key, is that up front that we've shown tremendous improvement. We have to continue that. At the quarterback position, I've been blessed. Heck, go through the list of guys that I've had. Kyle Datras, he's a pretty good athlete.
pretty darn
Connor
good.
Watkins, pretty good quarterback. Chase Kavanaugh, I'd say Chase, the thing that he brings to the table is a toughness that you can't describe. It's not just physical, it's mental. He wills things forward, and following a guy like that's pretty easy. You know he's going to be the first one who say, hey, we're going to run through that wall.
Absolutely.
Well, he's going to be one of the guys right in the front of it. He's not a quarterback that'll stand in the back. He's exciting to have.
He's one of those guys where you're on the sideline and saying, no, great play, great play.
No,
how often does that happen?
It happens a good amount, and we've gone to so much of a read concept that he ends up making a lot of the decisions, as the play's going on at the line of scrimmage, the whole thing. He's done a really good job.
That's
and
been the key.
The guy beside him, Davion, he's a 14-year-old, but he's playing a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, we talked
we'll see what he
earlier
can do.
this year and late this season that was a big key, changing that read option situation that gives Kavanaugh the ability, changing the play, running that offense, and making the decision. And since then, you're winning football games, and it's really worked for you.
Yeah, on the offensive side, the running game's increased because of part of that, running a lot of the option stuff. A ton of credit to the entire coaching staff. Almost all of our play concepts are option-based, and that's a huge change. Jim knows where a lot of those voices come from. Denny Stopper's in the room saying option, and we've changed a lot of the schemes from what we did a few years ago. But it's a lot of good stuff, and the offense is humming, the passing game's coming along. And a big key on the defensive side of the ball has been a combination of the up front guys and our linebackers. We have 2 linebackers that have been flying around, Job Shore, Simone Melito. They're undersized guys, but they're tough as can be too. Aiden Gare, he's a pain in the butt for everybody. Very, very aggressive. He's leading AAA in sacks, 2 pick sixes when we put him in coverage, and has a near 100 tackles as well. He's had a great year. Malachi Parlanti's doing a real nice job in the inside, and our defensive backfield.
I got to jump in here. Malachi, and you beat me to him. But if I was picking an MVP of your team, if I was picking a player of the year, Chase Kavanaugh's tough as nails.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Malachi, the effect that he has had on being a senior leader, the way he's developed, and he always seems to come up with the big play when you need him.
Well, he's been a huge, for him, this has been a huge change. He's always been the young guy.
Yep.
Always been the young guy. And even last year, although he was a junior, he was still kind of one of the young guys. So just personality-wise, he's really ticked it up a level in terms of what he expects of himself, what he does in the games. And when we needed him, whenever we've needed him, he's really stepped forward. I know that people have to scheme around him because he causes a lot of trouble, and he plays positions that we can move him around pretty easily on the interior of the defensive line or on the edge. On the offensive side, he's been a stalwart at guard for us for years now. And he's done a very good job. So very proud of his development. He's also getting pretty good grades right now, so I'm happy with that.
And he has great hair.
His hair.
He's got the whole package.
He's been talked about his hair an awful lot. His hair, I think, at this point is we've gone into that a lot, and I'm still trying to find out what else he's put in there in recent weeks.
Is it true you have at least one player on your team grow their hair long every year to intimidate the other team?
Well, I jokingly tell the kids all the time, listen, it's either going to be really short or really long.
And
in the middle stuff doesn't do much for
reference
people.
Because we all wanted Hunter to get his hair cut, and that wasn't going to happen.
We worked on him for a while. That goes back years to when Jamie and Austin Knight and those guys all had their long hair, and then the Kinney boys grew it out. It kept cycling, and linebackers generally at Loyalsock, they've been hair flopping out of the back, running around like a bunch of crazies, and Hunter lived up to that for sure. And now, Simone has it coming out of the back.
Simone, we almost forgot about. Hey, let me jump in on Simone.
Yeah.
What a year is Simone? Where he's come from, and where he's at this year and contributing as a senior.
Yeah, I mean, Simone's an individual who's really worked hard. He's been around since forever. He showed me a picture on his phone. It was one of those memories that comes up through social media I think it was from 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he was laying on the bench because he was there at the weight room. It was right when I was getting started, and we stacked like I think 315 on it, and had kids on the side pretending like he was lifting it in a video. And I laughed, and he's just a great kid who's been around forever. The Melitos have been, Loyalsock doesn't have many families that are Loyalsock families. That's one of them. And I'm proud of what he's developed into, and it's not because he has these tremendous gifts that have been bestowed on him. He's worked, and he knows the game of football, and he's different than his brother. Alden Alden coaches with him. He's more of a fire plug. He's an energy guy. Whereas Simone's more of an understated guy that goes through his job, kind of take his lunch pail to work, and he's done a great job for us. So I'm proud of what he's turned into for sure as a senior. To see someone step forward as a leader who's really earned it is a nice thing.
Well, this week, big game. They always say tough to beat a team twice in the same year. You're the team trying to come back against the Montoursville Warriors, defending champs. You won it 2 years ago. Let's talk about what you need to do, what adjustments. How different is your team as you approach a Montoursville team? And a lot of people felt the last time is a game won in the trenches. What happens this time?
Well, in reality, this is an opportunity for us to see how far we've come. In life, you don't usually get that. You have some, and I'm not going to say anything that it wasn't. It was a failure. It was a failure. Very frustrating situation for everybody involved. And if you don't call it what it is, what are you doing? So now we get a chance to come back and play him again. And our meeting today, it wasn't, hey, let's play. This is a district championship. This is this is that. This is a historic moment. No, this is an opportunity for every single one of us guys in the room and the couple girls that are in the room on our team to step forward, see what we've turned into, see what this hard work's actually come to be. And that's a real personal thing for all of us. And we're taking it as such, as an opportunity for us to drive forward and have this real challenge for ourselves. Where have we come? It's been a long time.
And
a lot
your
of work.
blueprint, the blueprint since you've been the head coach is early season failure turns into late season success. I don't know if it started out that way. You and I would talk on a lot of Saturdays after games early in the season, and there would be some frustration. But it's sort of become the MO for your program. Play a tough schedule early. You might lose a few games, and as the season goes on, right the ship and be ready for playoffs.
Well, and that goes to the scheduling thing. If you're going out, any one of these coaches who are going to talk to you today, or many of the people who aren't necessarily playing right now, you could choose to be 10-0. Schedule the right teams. You can be 10-0 every year, or you can be playing to try to make your team and test them and make them better. In some situations, that's been schedule changes. Montoursville had a schedule change during the season. In our situation, we ended up saying let's plug in some juggernauts. Let's go travel and play some big boys and see what happens. Find some people that we're unfamiliar with. And the Heartland does the vast majority of the scheduling, as everyone knows. However, we've never shied away. Next year, it's the same thing. Everybody that people said they didn't want to play, we said, all right, come on. We'll go, because if you want to be
the best, you got to play the best.
Yeah, if you want to develop that type of a program, our goals are ahead of us. Jim knows, we're not here, and we're not trying to build a program that's going to be okay. I'm frustrated with okay. I think we've been pretty good for a while, and we want to take more steps forward. But that's going to take the continued commitment.
What do you need to do this week? Key to this ball game against the Montoursville Warriors, that you know each other well. You've got to come out and attack. They're really good. They're 11-1. What do the Lancers need to do to not only come out, hang in, but win?
Control up front. Let our athletes be athletes, and when we have an opportunity to find green grass, go take it. Get up the field, go take the green grass. And I go all the way back to 2013. We had a similar situation. We lost a few games. They were coming in undefeated, and we ended up going after them, pulled out a great win. Yeah. And we're looking to do the same thing. This is a matchup where we're looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, what are we now? What are we now? What are we going to do in this situation? How are we going to overcome? And how are we going to remember ourselves? So, that's our challenge. It's putting an awful lot on the line in terms of this is about Loyalsock Lancers and about what we're doing. And Montoursville Warriors, they're certainly the opponent, but we recognize that the biggest opponent that we have and the biggest challenge anyone has in life is themselves. Control what you can control. Go out there, fight, and then in the end of the game, let's take a look at the scoreboard. If we play one play at a time, give 5 seconds of frenetic effort, well, guess what? I'll take us against anybody.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have it for you. Justin, good luck. Great season. You've had a great finish, 9-3, and the rematch against the arch rival Montoursville Warriors. It's going to be fun.
I'm
Friday
ready for it
night
right now,
in the Borough. They're ready to go. We're going to be fired up. Thanks again. Good luck.
Absolutely.
Justin Van Fleet here, WebWeeklyLive.com, touchdowns and tailgates. We come right back. We'll talk more coaches and more about this game coming up in moments. We're going to talk on the other side, the Warriors and J.C. Kiefer. We'll be right back. Touchdowns and tailgates brought to you by Fairfield. For fantastic deals.
The Kaiser Boys and Dan Goldman are at it again at both Fairfield locations in Muncy and Danville. For every new coat you bring in for kids ages infant to 15, you'll receive an additional $500 off your in-stock vehicle purchase. Plus, during the Black Friday sales event, you can receive employee pricing on select 2019. Save over $11,000 on select 2019 Ram 1500s or save over $7,000 off select 2019 Cherokees. Stop in today. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You're gonna love us.
Hey, we're back. It is the playoff preview, touchdowns and tailgates. Gary Crispin, Jim Webb, J.C. Kiefer, the Montoursville Warriors, 11-1 coming in. J.C., congratulations. What a season. and you had a feeling that it would be Sock again, and here you go, the rematch against the arch rival. Should be fun playing for all the marbles again, but a lot of goals are coming up that you've had in sight all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun time of year. You know, this is what you work for. You put in all that time and effort, and you have the kids, you know, put in all that time and effort. So this is where the hay is made, and we're just excited to go out and compete. Fun for the community, like Cumming County, that is Loyalsock for sure.
Are you guys where you want to be right now? I mean, you know, the Southern game was there, and Southern is on another planet, and you know, you rolled through that. You didn't blink an eye. You knew how good they were going to be. You always, to be the best, you play the best, and now you kept rolling. Warrior Run, you made a statement on a team that played you tough the first time out. Are you where you want to be right now as compared to a year ago in the same situation?
I don't think so, not yet. You know, my message to the team today was we need to be better this week than we were last week. So I think if we want to get to where we want to be, we have to continue to improve each and every day.
A year ago, you go to Danville. They had beaten you early. You go out there, you throw one of the great wins in, I think, recent years of us doing games at Montoursville. I remember the early 2000 win at Selinsgrove when Jankowski and Bratton and those guys. I liken last year's shutout win in the final to that win. This year, here you are again. You're playing the Loyalsock Lancers, but you guys have won so big, your guys haven't had to play as much. Does that hurt you coming into this game with the idea that, it's been almost too easy for you most of the time this season? Are you worried about that?
Not really. I think in week 5, that's something that I was worried about. But we played Southern in week 9. Obviously, my guys competed the whole game. Then we played Selinsgrove week 10. My guys were out there. And then, you know, in the playoffs, I've kind of left my guys in there competing for longer than maybe I would have if it was a regular season game against Shamokin and Warrior Run, just for that fact that they need to make sure, you know, I need to make sure they're ready for a 4-quarter game. I've been really impressed with my seniors, my upperclassmen, who have treated each and every week like it's the biggest game of the year, and I think that's the difference in my team this year and the teams that I've coached in the past at any sport at any level. I've been really impressed how my guys have come out and been ready to go. And I think that was the one game where I think that maybe we weren't ready was Warrior Run the first time around. And I think my guys used that this week and came out with a little chip on their shoulder. So, you know, I really give credit to my senior leadership there and the way that we've approached each and every week.
Jim?
The depth of your team, I always compliment you on being, Shaquille O'Neal was the big fundamental, and you're the big fundamental coach. From the first player on team to the last player on the team, you have to be happy with this success and how many guys you can run out there.
For sure, and you know, one of the things that has happened over the last couple years that has been different than what we've always done is we've brought our 9th graders up with us. Right. And it's not necessarily because we needed the numbers up at the varsity. It's because now they're getting coached by our varsity coaches, and I have great junior high coaches, but they're getting coached by the varsity coaches. They can run the scout team, and our coaches, and I have 7 guys at every varsity practice they're coaching everybody. If we're doing team offense, the young guys on defense are getting coached up by 4 guys, and because at some point in the year, we're going to need one of those guys to plug in on defense. And I really attribute that to my coaching staff. I have some phenomenal guys. They coach everything from their stance, start, alignment, assignment. You know, you're ripping with the wrong shoulder or whatever it is. I have phenomenal guys that have been around for a long time, and we just kind of have a system, and that's part of being in a program that works and is successful.
And I love watching your teams play and how you approach the game. Like you said earlier, you step on team's throat in the beginning of games. You don't leave them. You get them down. You don't leave them off the mat. And it's a great mentality the seniors have. And you use a big brother program. Do you see that being passed down to the younger folks that are really contributing?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, at the beginning of the year, I think a lot of the young guys are kind of gun shy and a little timid. And by this point in the year, the older guys have brought them along. We always have a young guy or two that we want to get in the fire. Michael Dincher, an offensive lineman, has been starting for us, since the beginning. And the older linemen were, a little hesitant at first, but now he's one of the guys, and they brought him along. Rocco Palizzi, who's a sophomore. We weren't sure where he was going to fit in, and here he's toted the rock more than the other guys because of what you've talked about, some depth issues, and just making sure we have guys fresh. So it's neat to see the older guys bring the younger guys along. They still have to pay their dues. Okay.
Absolutely.
But it's really neat to see that process.
So I live on the other side of the bridge, and there's nothing more I want to do than cut them blue and gold ribbons I look at every time I cross that bridge. Put up some maroon and silver.
Well, that was one of the things that I went to the cheerleading coach about week 2 or week 3. I said, hey, they're done painting that green bridge. They were out there pretty quick. By week 5, they had them out there.
I tried to get PennDOT to paint that maroon on one half, and they just wouldn't do it, right?
Weird.
Seriously, though, what do you have to do so I don't get to put up maroon and silver ribbons on that bridge? What's the key? I'll take a page from Gary's book. What's the key for you
Well,
guys?
I'll tell you what. Loyalsock has improved tremendously since we've played them in week 5. I really believe, after looking at their team and breaking down their film, and they had some I'm not going to say young kids, but they had some inexperienced kids playing over there.
Yeah.
You have the Hill kid, who now in game 11 isn't a freshman anymore. The Watkins kid, even though he's a senior, it was his first year playing football. Well, now he's adjusted, he's acquainted to the game. You know what I mean? So these guys have all these games under their belt, and I really think the coaches over there have done a phenomenal job of bringing some inexperienced kids. Even Chase, who Connor Watkins got hurt last year mid-season, but Chase didn't have that chance in team camp, all the 7-on-7s to throw the football. So really, this was his first year of being the guy at the helm. So I really think they've evolved and are playing really, really good football. And it's going to be a heck of a game Friday night.
Is there anything better than Loyalsock Montoursville district championship? Gary Chrisman going to be there and have everything covered. Isn't that what we all
I
start?
tell you what, if it was just Montoursville Loyalsock district championship, it would be a great game. But with Gary Chrisman there, it's a dream.
It makes absolutely.
It doesn't get any better than that.
No, that's right. That's right.
That makes it all worthwhile. You've been in a lot of these games. All right. You talk about how good Loyalsock has become. Where you guys are right now, you've got your sights down the road, but you got to get through this one. All right, let's talk. It's always the same thing. What is the difference with this team now in Loyalsock and your team that makes this a different game? To beat a team the second time, it's always a little tougher. What do you need to do to win it as far as the type of things to have success this coming Friday night?
Right. And I agree with you. And it's the reason why Coach Van Fleet and myself adjusted the schedule. I never liked playing them week 10 because I knew we'd probably have a pretty good chance of playing week 11, 12, or 13. And so if you go back and look at the stats throughout the years, and any team that has played the second, two teams that have played for the second time, there's a lot of the other team winning.
Yeah.
And so that always concerns us. The team that wins typically goes, well, here's what we did last time. Why wouldn't we do that again? Why would we overcoach ourselves? The team that lost goes and says, okay, here's what we need to do to stop this, stop that, or do to be effective on offense. So it's going to be interesting. When it comes down to it, we're a pretty good football team. Loyalsock's a pretty good football team. It's going to come down to the fundamentals up front. I still think it's going to be one up front. They have skilled kids. We have skilled kids. But it's going to be who can sustain blocks the longest and who can get off their blocks the quickest with the front guys. I really think that's where it's going to be won. They're going to have some guys make plays. We're going to have some guys make plays. But who can tackle the best, who can get off their blocks. I really think you're going to see in that box from 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and 5 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage, within that 10 yards is where I think the game's going to be won.
And it looks like you're now healthy, finally. You had a lot of guys banged up, and you got through with guys filling in. Yep. Looks like you're finally healthy.
Yep, we're probably as healthy as we've been since week 1, to be quite honest with
And
you.
you're right
that doesn't
where
happen very often.
you were hoping to be. I mean, let's face it, you had your sights set on this game from the outside of the season to go back where you were. You also have your sights set on going deeper than you went a year ago when you lost in the first round of Scranton Prep. That's got to be there. I know it's one at a time, but you're pretty much where you want to be.
Absolutely. And again, I'm going to go back to my senior leadership, and you know, we have done some things different this year, and what we've talked about our goals are. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna tell you tonight what we talk about in our team meetings about what our goals are. But you know, we are sitting exactly where we wanted to be, back in the district championship game, and we have all our focus on Friday night. You know, it's going to be an interesting week. We have some bad weather coming this week. It's going to be extremely cold one of the nights. Then it's going to, you know, be mild again. So all those things that, as a head coach, you know, people on the outside just think, wow, it's football, whatever.
Are you kidding? As a broadcaster, as an old broadcaster, can you imagine?
So all those things go through my head. You know what I mean? Is there a certain game plan we have to use? What's the weather going to be like Friday night?
Wind. That's a huge factor.
It's not so much the rain, obviously, but that wind is always a big thing. I'm always looking at the wind. How windy is it going to be?
Yeah.
So
I heard your goal is to keep Gary out in the cold as long as you can.
Well, the school district wanted to put an enclosed box on the top. I said, no way. Make sure that's open. I don't want Babe and Gary being too comfortable up there.
And Babe Bear's gone on vacation. Believe me, his wife sent him away. Ken Sawyer,
dog.
the veteran.
Ken's a great dude. He's done several of our games.
Ken Sawyer is going to be with us. Hey, JC, it's been fun. We'll continue to roll, and we'll see who it will be, the Lancers or the Warriors. Going to be fun. I can't wait Friday night. Thanks again.
Yep, thanks you,
JC.
guys.
Hey, when we come right back, and that's a game that Ken Sawyer is going to join me for Babe. That is going to be this coming Friday night, of course, 7, Memorial Stadium. We'll replay it. It'll come up at least by 10 Saturday morning. WebWeeklyLive.com, CableSportsLive.com. We'll also link it to Facebook. For J.C. Kiefer, Jim Webb, we're going to return in a moment. We'll talk to Sean Tatro. We come right back. The Muncy Indians making history in Muncy, PA. We'll be back. This is Touchdowns and Tailgates.
The Kaiser Boys and Dan Goldman are at it again at both Fairfield locations in Muncy and Danville. For every new coat you bring in for kids ages infant to 15, you'll receive an additional $500 off your in-stock vehicle purchase. Plus, during the Black Friday sales event, you can receive employee pricing on select 2019. Save over $11,000 on select 2019 Ram 1500s or save over $7,000 off select 2019 Cherokees. Stop in today. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You're gonna love us.
It is the playoff edition, WebWeeklyLive.com, touchdowns and tailgates. Gary Crispin, Jim Webb, Sean Tatro, congratulations. Muncy Indians, another district championship, moving into the PIAA 3 out of 4 years, back-to-back titles, and sure feels good beating Canton coming back. Boy, I'm telling you, that big win, congratulations.
Yeah, it was a great win for the kids. The kids really showed up. They played their hearts out, and it was great to leave Canton with a big W and back-to-back titles.
Yeah, anytime you go up there, it's a tough place to play, and you go up there and hand it to them. You walk out of there, that had to feel really good.
I mean, last 2 years, district finals played at Canton's Field. Yeah. Very tough place to play. They always have a great crowd. Our kids never wavered, never got rattled, and they played to the very end. It was great to get a second one. What
has been the key to this Muncy Indian team this year with the balance of the offense and the defense all the way around? I mean, you've had a lot of confidence talking to you the last couple of years. What's been the key that has made this team so good?
I mean, it starts up front. I mean, we run the ball quite a bit. We're a pro-I team, and those linemen this year, once they all got healthy, they really gelled. They really relocated line of scrimmage. It was great to see our running backs hit some big holes.
Jim?
The one thing I'd admire over the years, I've watched you now, you develop the talent. Everybody thought you lost kids, you're going to be down, you're a small school, you reloaded.
I mean, it's great to have that mentality now. We're no longer reloading. It's no longer rebuilding. We're reloading. We're reloading team. I mean, we started 3 freshmen and 4 sophomores on the offense. Wow. All first-year players, and they stepped up huge this season.
And I love following you in Muncy football because I love it. You block, you tackle, you run the football. It starts with the Lombardi basics, we'll call them. And the longer the season went on, the better you got, and that had to make you and the staff feel real good about it.
I mean, those kids took ownership. They knew we're single A football. We're not reinventing the wheel. We got to play stingy defense. We got to run the football, and we got to establish the line in the trenches. They took ownership, and it was great to see the hard work pay off.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the quarterback-receiver combo. You got to be happy there.
I mean, freshman to freshman. I mean, Branson Iyer and Ross Iyer, two cousins for us. I mean, the biggest play of the game to me in Canton was 4th and 13. We call a reverse pass. The cousin Ross, who's a receiver, throws it to the quarterback, Branson. Two freshmen making a huge 4th and 13 play on the game-winning drive. I mean, those two have stepped up huge for us this year, and it's great to see them get the confidence.
And you never know what the future holds, but right now, those two, they're not freshmen anymore.
I mean, yeah, we play enough games at this point. The freshmen are no longer freshmen. They've played at least as many games as all of our sophomores and juniors, so it's great to see them get more confidence week in and week out.
Definitely. Gary, what do you got?
Well, and now you get ready for Millersburg. District 3, always tough down there. What do you know about the team you've got to play Saturday afternoon at Williamsport's STA Stadium? What can you tell us about the team and what you need to do to come home with your first ever PIAA win?
I mean, our kids are excited to get a District 4 game, basically a home game at Williamsport. We're excited to host that District 3 champion. Millersburg, they have a couple great athletes. Their quarterback can throw the ball around pretty good. They have a very good running back, but I mean, it's simple. Single A football. We're won and lost in the trenches. Our O-line, our D-line have got to show up. They got to manhandle that line of scrimmage, and we should have a great day.
What's the town feeling like right now? I mean, the town of Muncy and the pride and the student body. Got to be, when I've come down there, a lot of pride out of those Indian fans.
Definitely.
Oh, we're excited. Our student body can't wait to get there for the student section. Got the pep bus already ready.
You have a pep rally coming this week?
Yep, we got a pep rally coming. We got a pep bus that hauls all the kids up to the game up in Williamsport.
And that's going to be cool for you guys playing up at the big stadium in STA.
I mean, anytime you play up in Williamsport High School on that big turf field, that beautiful stadium, it's going to be a great time. We're excited to get on that field, and we're excited to show everybody what we got.
Congratulations, Sean. It's going to be fun, Jim. There's no doubt.
Absolutely, and you know I'm a huge Muncy football fan, and I need a Muncy hat to wear. We're gonna do the game on Saturday, 1 o'clock. Obviously, we have to tape delay it because my friends at the PIAA want a big cut. But Paul Bowe, Rich Zalonis are so overjoyed to be coming up and covering you guys, and we're looking for that first state tournament win for the Muncy Indians.
That's right. We're looking to bring home that first state win for our program, and we're excited.
Absolutely. Well,
Sean,
good luck, Coach.
Congratulations. What a run, and keep it rolling for the Indians, for the blue and white from Muncy. We're going to take, well, I tell you what, we're going to leave for right now. We're not taking a time out. We're going to say goodbye for right now from Rival Sports Bar and Grill. Sean, thanks and good luck. Jim Webb, it's been fun being with you.
Been a lot of fun, Gary.
And you guys are going to be doing that game. Of course, Ken Sawyer's in for Babe Mayer, and we're going to be doing Sock and Montoursville coming up. That's going to be a tape delay game also because of the District 4 rights fees. We'd love to do it live. And, of course, that's Friday night, our game, and we'll replay it Saturday morning at 10 a.m. For Jim Webb, Gary Crispin, Sean Tatro, good luck, Indians. We'll see you next week. Touchdowns and Tailgates brought to you by Fairfield for fantastic deals.
Inside handoff. Oh, on the bootleg. Grease, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Williamsport, great keep.
First quarter. On their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0.
Play action. Coleman good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch! 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards. Coleman.
Pass. Steps up once and all. Throws. Got Brock Boyer down the field. Nice. Did he catch it? Touchdown. Brock Boyer. Good coverage. Dallas Crease. Kavanaugh back to pass. Looking deep out. Watkins has it at the 20, 15, 10, 5. He's going to score. Touchdown. Touchdown.
With 6.2
touchdown,
seconds
Reese
left.
Watkins. Reese Watkins scores with 6 seconds to go from 30 yards out. Chase Kavanaugh to Reese Watkins again. That's the second time. 6 seconds to go. And he is in for the score.